if Drake right now, completely independent, if Drake right now posts a link on a picture on the gram of his new album, Lincoln Bio, it isn't fuck a Lincoln Bio, new album out, fully independent. Drake will make fucking $10 million a week for fucking 60
By the
weeks.
way,
You know, it's like insane.
Drake is. I said this before, and it's about to come out in the next 6 months. Drake is about to get the biggest bag in the history of the music business by far.
He should.
Because well, A, he should, and B, they don't want that to happen. Because the day that happens, you might as well close the business down.
Drake should go independent and fuck the whole shit up.
If Drake goes independent, the music business is over.
What's up, guys? So I had to do a video on what Russ and Steve Stoute said in their whatever they had, the online music conference that United Masters put together, and what they said about if Drake goes independent, the whole music industry would be done. It would go out of business or whatever Steve Stoute said. So look, I'm not sure if they're trying to get a marketing gimmick out of this or just want the video to go viral. Look, I respect what Steve Stoute has done. He's a great marketer, clearly helped a lot of artists in the past, but also respect what Russ has done independently. But I'm not sure why they think that if Drake goes independent, the music industry would be done. You know what I'm saying? If Drake goes independent, then Drake goes independent. It would be in the news for like 2 weeks, maybe a month, about what a great move it was and what he's doing now independently, this and that, and then everything will go back to normal. It's not like we haven't had massive artists like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, or Master P being independent, making a lot of money, building huge brands for themselves, so to speak. But the industry didn't stop. Nothing really changed. The industry is constantly evolving. Yes, there's more and more independent artists out there. I've been saying that for years now because we have never had that many tools as we do have now in order to run a business like a label can. But if Drake goes independent, then he just goes independent. It'd be great for him, and yes, he'll make a lot of money. But the music industry would not stop. It would just continue to go pretty much the same way as it's been going, and obviously continue to evolve. But it wouldn't even have a skip in what it's doing right now. Second of all, what Russ is saying, that if Drake puts out his own album independently, that he would be getting like $10 million per week for like 60 weeks. First of all, let's really break that down. If Drake is utilizing the independent platforms like DistroKid, CD Baby, or whatever, that have certain licensing agreements with Spotify and Apple Music. So if he was getting the streams from the highest revenue generation or generating platforms like Apple Music or really Xbox and the video game platforms pay out the highest revenues per stream, which I think it's a penny per stream. So if he did a penny per stream, 1 billion streams per week would give him $10 million a week. Which billion streams a week, I don't think any artist is doing 1 billion streams per week, and definitely not doing it on Xbox and these other video game platforms. If they did it through Spotify and Apple Music, which are the largest in the US, they would probably average out like 5 to 6 million per week if they're doing 1 billion streams per week, which is still a great number. But so let's say Drake does go independent and he drops an album and he makes, let's agree with Russ and say he's gonna make 10 million a week going forward for X amount of weeks. You have to realize that Drake has been building his brand literally since like 2005, if not before that. I just put out a few videos like a week ago about Drake's early interview that I found, which was I think from 2007, before he got signed to Cash Money, where he's talking about how Degrassi really played a major role in developing his fan base to where it was to be able to even start pushing music independently on the level he was able to do, to generate enough attention to catch the attention of major labels, to start being in a position to even entertain conversation with labels to get signed. He talked about how him and Trey Songz were already doing songs together independently. And I know there's other articles I read in the past that I think for the first song they did independently together, or when he did a song with Trey Songz, I think ended up paying him like $15,000 for that feature. So they already had that money. They had the business infrastructure. He had the multiple people on his team. So all I'm saying is that Drake's brand has been being built for like 15 years, if not longer. And since he's been signed to a major label under Universal through Cash Money, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere upwards of $300 million maybe $250 million have been pumped into his brand over the last decade just to build that brand to where it is today. So yeah, after all that building, all that cash infusion and all that branding for the last decade or so, and obviously the great music has been putting out, yeah, if he goes independent now, he would probably be doing those numbers. But let's really break down what does it mean to be independent, because I think that a lot of artists are confused and it's just becoming this like trendy word in the industry that, oh, you got to be independent because somehow it may give you more respect or somehow make you better in the industry because you're able to do it independently or not. Because what does it mean to be independent? If we said that independent meant that you cannot utilize or partner with or have a deal with any type of major company in this music industry that provides a major infrastructure to this business, like a Spotify, like Apple Music, like Amazon Music, right? These are all public companies. So can you, if you're truly independent, can you utilize public companies like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music and whatnot? Or you just have to stay away from other public companies like Universal? And I don't know if Warner Brothers is in the public yet. I know they're trying to go. But like, what does it mean to be independent? Can you not take a deal or a partnership with a major label? Are you no longer independent? Russ then is not independent because he's got a major deal partnership, you know what I mean? But let me tell you what I believe independent is, because I don't think that defines whether you're independent or not. I think you can still have a partnership with any major label. Obviously, you got to be utilizing Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music, which are all public companies. But to be independent is to have the ultimate decision-making power. So even if you are partnered with a Universal or Cash Money or Def Jam or whoever, you own 51% of that relationship. You have the ultimate vote in what happens with your album release, when it gets released, how it gets released, what the marketing strategies are, you know, what your touring will look like and all of that. That means you're an independent. You're operating independently from anybody else's order or vote or decision-making power, right? So if you're independent, in my opinion, you're independent from having to wait for somebody else above you to give you the green light or the thumbs up to do something, or, you know, to essentially make a move when it comes to business, marketing, releasing, licensing, whatever the case is. So to be independent, that's all it means in my eyes. So you can still be partnered with a major label. You got to be utilizing these major services and music infrastructure companies like Spotify, digital streaming, radio, and all of that. All these companies, like there's one company in the US that owns probably like 75% of all the FM radio stations. So are you not allowed to be on the radio to be independent? Come on. To be truly independent, the way you guys probably think independent is right now, you would have to be like a street performer living off the tips that you get from people walking by, maybe selling some merch or t-shirts on the side and not utilizing any digital platform, right? Facebook, public company, owns Instagram, public company. So if if being independent is not utilizing any of these partnerships, then nobody's independent and will never be. But obviously, independent just means that you're independent of having to listen to somebody else, right? And I'll end with this, that in business, if you want to reach a massive status, like a billionaire status, you think about Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, these guys maybe own like 12 to 15% of their companies at this point, maybe 20. They would never get to a point they are without giving up equity. And I talked about this in my post last night. If you don't give up equity, even if you're Drake independently, he probably would give equity to 40. He'd probably give equity to his manager or his business partner that were on board, because if you don't give these equities, like nobody will ever work as hard or harder than you, because they wouldn't feel any type of ownership to, what's going on. Like nobody would ever push as hard for you as you would be unless there's some type of an upside from royalties or equity or whatever. Maybe you compensate them super good. That is a way to doing it. But if you're independent, you can't be throwing around $500,000 a year salaries just to do certain things. Give the people to push hard for you and give them some equity. So I'm going to leave you with that. So I just want to make this video because, again, when you listen to these snippets of major people saying X, Y, and Z, please don't take it out of context. Let's really break it down. Let's really look at the business, see what it really is. And that's why I made this video. So let me know what you guys think. Question, comments. The comment section, as always, please save it, share it, like it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.